Welcome to the Triple P podcast, Preds, Pucks, Pinoys, hosted by Justin Bradford and Matt Best.
Hello and welcome to Triple P, Preds, Pucks, Pinoys, Justin Bradford and Matthew Best.
Why do you full name me now?
Matt Best.
Only people that full name me are people who don't know how to read the bottom of email signatures when it clearly says Matt, and then my parents when they're pissed.
Okay, Matty Best joining us.
But I'll accept it.
Oh, wow, I was expecting a little more anger from that. So, first of all, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. You're going to be listening to this on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or Boxing Day, most likely.
Yeah, when you want to get away from family and friends.
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate you joining us for probably a quick episode here. But first of all, if you listen to our last one, and this is not a spoiler for Spider-Man, but I just want to say, I confirmed after a second viewing that yes, there are more Filipino cultural items in Ned Zalola's apartment, including the wooden spoon and fork hanging from the wall and multiple lamps made out of capiz shells.
The wooden fork and spoon is like the biggest cultural thing there. Yeah. How many times have you seen it now? 3?
No, just twice. I was going to go see it again tonight, but I have so much stuff to do to prepare for Christmas Eve, to clean the house and get food ready and everything. Alex is up in Indianapolis for the night. That's where she went to go find her wedding dress.
Oh, wow.
So her and her sister went up and met her mom in Indy at a vintage shop. So she found her dress. I've not seen it. But yeah, so I'm kind of holding the fort down here and getting the place ready to go to have my parents over and then her sister and her sister's boyfriend over for Christmas Eve dinner and celebrate as a family and everything. So it'll be nice. But yeah, so I will definitely go see it again. I want to see it in IMAX. That's the big thing for me. I want to see it in IMAX.
I think you're going to see it 5 times before I see it twice.
There's
actually a good chance that you see it like multiple times over 5 before I see it twice. I don't know if I'm going to make it back out to go see it again.
Well, my problem is having time to do it because the theaters aren't doing as many late showings like they used to before. Like when I went to see Endgame multiple times, there are movies that were starting on the weekdays at 9 or 9:30. They don't do that now post like pandemic times.
No.
Like the latest showing on a weekday is typically starting at 8 o'clock or so. So if at least down here, and I know it's different depending on area, but that was the thing. That's why I was able to go because Alex would basically be going to bed, and I'm like, okay, I got to go to the movies, and I wouldn't have to get to work until 9:30 the next morning. So now I have to get up for work at 7:30-ish.
Do you like it?
Well, I like having a new job.
Well, do you like getting up was the question.
No, I'm a night owl.
Yeah.
I'm most productive at night, so that is definitely an adjustment to make.
How grumpy are you in the mornings when you wake up?
Oh, I'm not grumpy. I'm not a grumpy person.
Okay, well, I don't think I'm a grumpy person either in the morning, but I combat that by just not talking to anyone for about an hour. And everyone's like, why are you so pissed off in the morning? It's like, I'm not pissed off. I didn't talk to you. That's it.
I have no option of doing that because it's an open office format for us.
God.
So it's a startup.
Yeah.
There's people all around. But working from home the past 2 days, and then I don't go back to I'm off now until next Thursday.
That's pretty good. This beer sucks.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Big Wave Golden Ale by Kona Brewing Company. It looked cool in Hawaiian, so... Oh, I'm just kidding. This beer's great.
No, I've had it before. It's nothing to write home about.
Yeah, I saw it, and I was like, I've never seen this before.
So, Matt, before we get into our Christmas stuff, because that's pretty much what the episode's about, to have something hockey, because we've already covered something Pinoy, let's cover something hockey-related. One question, so on our Penalty Box Radio Live, Peyton Turnage commented and made the topic note that actually made a lot of sense, which is what pisses him off the most for Festivus is that all these articles and videos and everything have been written about Olympic rosters and the players that should make it, who should be the last one in or the first one out on the rosters. And now, since the NHLers are not going to be going, none of that. Like all those articles,
garbage.
Nothing. Garbage. For a year and a half, people have been arguing about it, and that makes sense because people have spent so much time analyzing, especially for like Canada, because a star is going to be left off. That's just natural with Canada. A really, really good hockey player would not make that roster. Same thing with the U.S. and I mean even Sweden. When you get to Russia now, because hockey's grown so much in all the countries, so it is curious to see that right there. But the question I wanted to pose to you, Matt, is what do you think these teams are going to scramble to do? How are they going to fulfill these rosters? Is it going to be AHL, college? I mean, no matter what, it's going to screw with somebody's season because no one else had a break built in like the NHL did.
You know the Spengler Cup?
Look at that Canada backed out of.
It's going to be the Spengler Cup roster is what I think. I think the thing that I'm most pissed off about is that we're not going to get a chance to see Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid all on one line.
Been waiting so long for Connor McDavid.
That's all I want. And it hurts for Stamkos. I don't know if you saw his comments. But yeah, that hurts. Like him not being able to represent his country because he had the injury the one year and then just no Olympics. That sucks. But you're gonna get a lot of AHLers in the Olympics. You're gonna get a lot of just weird leagues from across. Wouldn't surprise me honestly if a couple people from the ECHL made it too. Like you're gonna get a mixed bag of everything. But if you've ever watched the Spengler Cup, you'll see a few names that you know from players that you didn't know were still playing in different leagues across the world, and you'll be like, oh, he's still playing. That's fun, and that's what it'll be. I mean, I'll probably watch the medal rounds. I won't care honestly for anything else because the NHL players aren't there. So I watch it for the talent. I watch it for like Ovechkin and Kucherov and all these guys going up against like the best Canadians or the best Americans. Like Austin Matthews and Patrick Kane on the same line would have been nutso. And now we don't get to see that. Instead, I'm going to get to see like Joe Schmo from the AHL. Like Josh Hosang might make a team because he's got talent and he's got star power. But
well, it's going to be curious too. Now there are a few Canadians that play in NCAA, but obviously it's mostly Americans. There's also probably a few international players, but probably the better international players are playing in their own countries' pro leagues or their up and coming pro leagues over in Europe and everything too. So it's going to be curious because you think if you're a college program, say University of Michigan that has so many draft picks playing on the roster that could definitely be a good talent to play for the Olympics. But you're a team that is obviously pushing towards a Frozen Four berth and a national championship in college hockey. It's going to be a lot of weighing of the options, and obviously coaches are going to be involved, the university is going to be involved, and multiple of the universities. And like, what are these players going to do? Because obviously, if they get an opportunity to play in the Olympics, I'm sure plenty of these players would want to.
I would like if it was Frozen Four versus Olympics, that's the easiest decision for me. It's Olympics every single time because. Who knows, like you said, if you're a Canadian especially, if you think you're good, you're probably not good enough to make the Canadian Olympic roster. Like, you have to be a dynamo superstar in order to make that roster. But if you think you're going to be okay in the NHL, just go if you somehow get the chance. The Frozen Four, it'll suck to miss it, but to put on your country's jersey, even though it's like a kiboshed Olympics, then it's still something to represent.
Just be prepared to be in China for, a few extra weeks.
Yeah, and sit in your hotel and do nothing.
Yeah, and do nothing. So bring your PS5 and your Xbox.
Pretty much.
All right. So I know this is a topic that you wanted to discuss and is ranking Christmas foods. Now, I want to clarify some things because it's going to depend on what we're doing when it comes to Christmas foods. Because, for instance, we're going to have some Filipino influence.
Yes.
Obviously, at my house. I mean, my mom's making the family recipe of Filipino ham and pandesal and cheese, because we have to have that for breakfast on Christmas morning. I mean, she's bringing it to us because I won't see them on Christmas morning. But pandesal, ham, and cheese. You gotta say it like cheese.
No, it's not cheese. It's just
it's cheese. So, and then obviously there's sometimes going to be pancit involved, a lechon involved for some folks. I'm sure they might save it for New Year. So we'll see. But I want leche flan as well as another nice dessert. And then there's the Jello. There's like the Christmas Jello, which is another Filipino thing where it's just tri-colored Jellos.
Oh, that stuff slaps.
Yes,
that stuff's so
People
good.
Be like, what? But no, it's good.
If you know, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to get from you, and we're gonna do like top 5. How we establish the rules.
So establishing the rules. A holiday food can't be something that you occasionally have for dinner from time to time. Like, it has to be something that's brought out for a special occasion. So like,
Punsit is no.
yeah, that's a no. Like, that's a staple, but we have it so often that I wouldn't count it. Whereas
100%.
like turkey comes out for like Christmas, Thanksgiving, like events like that. I don't have a turkey in the oven every week kind of thing. Mashed potatoes, you might think you have the best mashed potatoes ever. You probably have mashed potatoes once or twice a month. So that also doesn't count. It has to be like a holiday food.
That's
so
fair.
Things like stuffing, turkey, cranberry sauce, things like that are all on the table. Let's do top 3.
Okay, and I'm curious because it's obviously there's 3 different cultures playing in here: American, Canadian, and Filipino. So, when you think about it, because there's some unique traditions, I think in the U.S. and I'm sure multiple parts of Canada as well, there's a lot of overlap into what is a Thanksgiving food and what is a Christmas food.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, I mean, my family as well does ham and turkey for Thanksgiving. Usually for Christmas, it would be ham more than it would be a turkey, or it would be like if it's a small family, except a small close family, it'd be like nice steak on Christmas Eve, kind of thing. Like really, like there was beef tenderloin.
Yeah.
Year.
I'll make an exception. Like
So-
we have steak frequently. Like, well, that makes us sound like bougie, but I mean, like, steak occurs, but if it's like a special, like
Certain kind of
$80 cut steak.
I'm not saying I want to do that. I'm just saying, like, I'm not sure what your traditions are as well too, because your Thanksgiving is so much earlier than American Thanksgiving as well. So your holiday season kicks off a little bit earlier because it's early October typically.
Yeah, it's nice kind of, because then you have Halloween after where you can just pig out on like garbage food and that'll tide you over. But for holiday foods, let's start with number 3 and then go 2, then go number 1. I know my 2 and 1. I don't have my 3. Do you have a 3 ready?
I have my foods. I'm just trying to rank them right now.
I have 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 is easy.
Yeah,
3 is tough.
I think I have my 1. I think I have my 2 as well. So okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay, hit me with 3 while I think of 3.
Is going to be my dad's baked macaroni and cheese. Not just like simple macaroni and cheese. This is like a 5-cheese, ooey gooey, saucy baked macaroni and cheese.
That sounds pretty good.
So it's not like what you're just gonna have, like a mashed potato where you might have it every so often. This is like it takes a good bit to make this.
What's in, like,
special.
is it different kinds of cheeses?
Oh yeah, you have like you have different cheddars, Gruyere, Gouda, all melted together and everything. Yeah,
I can mess with
it
that.
slaps. Oh yeah.
All right, my number 3 is turkey. It's very generic, but I love just a nice turkey that's moist. It can't be like dry turkey.
Moist.
Nobody likes dry turkey. Like, you should be adding gravy to your turkey as like a little compliment, not to just taste gravy as a whole, because you want the juicy turkey bird. There is nothing more like any holiday. It's always, is there going to be a turkey? Is there going to be a turkey? And it's like a big deal around my house where we get the turkey like a week early, and we're like, okay, the turkey's ready. And this year my dad went and got a like free range turkey for some reason, and I was like, it's just gonna taste the same. Have you, like, when things are like free range or grain fed and shit like that, have you ever tasted a difference?
Not necessarily when it comes to like a thing like turkey.
Yeah.
I do taste a difference in eggs.
Really?
Eggs, you typically can tell a difference just based on the color of the yolk, and it's more about if it's gonna be actually better for you, if it's gonna be a creamier yolk, more than anything else, and stuff like that. And then you can tell a lot of times quality of certain meats, especially like beef, on how quickly it cooks. Sometimes flavor behind it, if it's beefy flavored. So I mean, it depends, and I know that's all a preference and everything too. But also there's certain reasons for certain brands to be better, or if you're buying local products and it's not being stored as long either.
This was a local buy, so it was nice. Like, supporting local around the holidays is nice.
Oh, absolutely. And shoot, a turkey, I think I said on our Thanksgiving episode or so, spatchcocking a turkey is phenomenal.
I want turkey, like, one day I want to cook a turkey a bunch of different ways and just have people over and be like, enjoy turkey all these different ways. And then each person gets a turkey leg when they walk in too. I have a turkey party, a turkey party. That would have been dangerous. Also, you're the only one that can hear me coughing, so that's your privilege this Christmas.
Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. God bless us, everyone.
Yes. Number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me is going to be leche flan.
I knew you were gonna put that in somewhere. I just didn't know if it was gonna be one or two.
I had to. It's a special occasion dessert for our family. So I mean, I maybe get to have it 2-3 times a year at most.
That's super special occasion then.
That's super.
What do you
special.
get? A birthday?
Maybe birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas. That's maybe about it. Or it might be like Christmas, Easter, birthday, or it might be like we had it at our engagement party, our small engagement party. We had 2 leche flats because there were a lot of people there, and 1.5 leche flats went.
Didn't you take home the other half? You said,
and I ate the whole thing.
Absolutely, I'm proud of you.
Yep. But it is delicious. Oh my god, it's so good the way my mom makes it. Super creamy and custardy. Oh god, I love it. What's yours?
I want to gift that of you saying super creamy and custardy. Number 2 for me is stuffing.
Creamy.
I love not creamy stuffing. I love stuffing. The stuffing has to be made inside of the turkey too.
Okay, I was about to ask, is it stuffing or dressing?
No. You gotta stuff it like in the turkey. Good thing that you can't see more of this on the 2-shot that I have.
Interesting, because a lot of people recommend against doing that nowadays for safety reasons.
Well, what's the safety hazard?
It's poultry.
It's fine if you cook it. I'm yet to die.
I know.
I'm just
saying.
I like.
Well, what's in it? Because there's so many different kinds. So
oh my god!
Tell me what's in your stuffing.
I should just go get my mom and be like, "What's in your stuffing?" That's an awful sentence. I wish I could take that back. There's a bunch of like herbs and spices. I'm not gonna like pretend to bullshit which ones are in there because I honestly don't know. But I do know that the bread that she buys is like baker's bread kind of thing and not just like your Wonder Bread. So it does taste better that way. And it is literally like some people have loose stuffing in their turkeys. It's like this is jam packed, so it comes out kind of like not in clumpy clumps, but it's like it's more compact, so you get more taste and more flavor. What are you giggling at?
I'm surprised you haven't gone to the hospital then.
Why?
Because like you're listing everything you're not supposed to be doing in your bird.
Oh,
you're
it's
supposed
so
to
good.
loosely pack it
No,
it cooks.
No, stuff it in there and then it cooks every time. There hasn't been a time where I've eaten it and been like, that might be poison. Like, no, it's been good every time.
I'm sure it tastes great. I just worry about you. But wait. You got healthcare. You're good.
Yeah. Wow. Don't even get me started on trying to get a COVID test around the shithole. My God.
Oh, that's right. I saw about lines being like 2 hours long.
Well, I had a friend who I work with. She stood in line for 10 hours for her booster vax.
Oh, my God.
I had to drive an hour to go get my COVID test done. And then an hour back. And then they're like, should be done in 48 hours. It wasn't. Took a little longer. I'm negative, by the way. Thank you. We're not dying. But let me tell you, that's a spooky time between tests. Yeah, no, our healthcare sucks. Yeah. It's free, but it sucks.
There's that.
Yeah, there's my little COVID rant.
Oh, God. You can't avoid it now.
No, it's all the, like, I can't, there's no rapid test to be found. I'm still going. We're done.
Well, for me, because our honeymoon's coming up and it's on a cruise, which people might roll their eyes, but it's like I feel fine in there, and I know Royal Caribbean had that one thing break. But for us, for celebrity, they currently have a thing where you have to be vaccinated and show a negative test, and that expires January 31st. Ours starts February 6th, so I'm not sure if they're going to continue that on or not, but it has to be within a day. The negative has to be within 1 day. And the thing for me is like, if you have it, I would probably be asymptomatic because I'm boosted. But if you have a positive test, you cannot board the ship, obviously.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. But so I'm like, though, at least 10 days before, I've already told my boss, like, I'm working from home.
Nice.
I'm not going to work any Predators game. She's like, yeah, totally understand. That's fine. You've spent thousands of dollars on this vacation. I understand, like, it is a thing. Like, I cannot be around people, and Alex is even trying to work out the same thing, to where we just basically quarantine before we travel.
It's pretty smart. You'd screw yourself out of a honeymoon that you've already taken the time off of. What are you gonna do? Right. Just sit there at home and be like, nice honeymoon.
Right. But nowadays, folks, it is worth it to get travel insurance, especially nowadays. You never know what's gonna happen. Spend that extra $100
Yeah.
and get that travel insurance because it covers so much. Just talk to your travel agents.
I think.
Anyways,
I think now more than ever, I'm actually going to take your advice and not use Expedia to book my trip to Nashville.
yeah,
Because
don't, dude,
like
there's so many things that could happen.
right now I'm just like I'd rather deal with the airline or the hotel directly instead of going through all that rigmarole.
Especially being international and what's going on. Yeah, you don't want to get screwed.
Yeah, no.
So,
Back to the holidays. Screw COVID.
all right,
So stressed.
it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Will it?
It's gonna be. I'm just saying that. I'm trying to make you feel better.
Thank you.
Okay, so my number one. My number one is dressing.
Oh, I did not expect that to be number one.
What did you expect to be number one?
I have no idea, but it wasn't dressing.
Well, dressing, and the reason why it's so damn good, and I know people might roll their eyes, but it is a Paula Deen recipe. But my dad's been making it for years now.
I
and it's
thought you
so-
said Aladdin, and I
No,
was
no.
like, what?
Paula Deen, all the butter, but it is definitely a dressing. It's cooked outside the turkey, so it's a dressing, and it's cooked with sausage and and sage, and it is so delicious. And it's the way it's made. You don't need any it can be eaten on its own because it does have your protein in it and everything else as well. But it is so damn good. And what's the best is when the next day you have a slice of this dressing and you put it in your frying pan and you fry it with butter.
That sounds
get it-
delicious and
You get it
dangerous.
nice and crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside still, and then you top it with an over easy egg.
Can you take a picture of this year and send it to me?
Yeah.
Okay, I really want to see what that looks like because it sounds really damn good.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. All those flavors, and then you top it with an egg. I mean, come on. Like that's
sounds
why I love
good.
the dressing, because it lasts more than one day. It makes it special for a couple days, to the point where we actually freeze it sometimes. We'll actually
Really?
have leftovers and freeze it, so if like a month later we want it, we'll just thaw it out and we'll have dressing for breakfast.
I've had dressing for breakfast, but I didn't make it a breakfast meal kind of thing. Like I
Okay,
didn't add
yeah,
an egg.
yeah.
I was just like, oh, it's 10 o'clock the day after Christmas. It's Boxing Day and there's dressing and turkey here. Here's
Well,
what I'm
try it
having.
with stuffing, because I mean it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Basically, except for just the slightly differences in how it's cooked and what's in it. Try putting some of it in a frying pan with some butter and get a little bit crispy and warm, and top it with an egg. I swear, dude, you'll be changed.
That sounds so good. I've never even
It's good, and it's filling.
Do you fry it when it's cold still, or do you preheat it at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's cold out of the fridge and everything. Just put a slab of it, because we slice it to make it easier for frying. And then once you have a little bit warm, then you mix it up a little bit to make it a little chunky. So you get little bits of basically like home fries, but it's dressing.
Okay, mine might
think
be.
of it like that. So you have multiple crispy bits with the fluffiness inside the crispy.
That sounds. They're like what the hell are they called? They're like hush puppies.
Okay, not like that, 'cause it's not deep fried.
Okay, well, I was thinking deep fried because that sounds great.
No,
right
but
now.
like in a frying pan, like an egg pan, and with some butter.
I could mess with
And
that.
it's so good, yeah. So it's a versatile dish.
That sounds. Yeah, no, I could definitely do that.
All right,
Ooh.
number one for you.
So this is kind of a cop out. It's called Jig's Dinner, and Jig's
Okay.
Dinner is a Newfie meal that you only get if you live in Newfoundland, you get Jig's Dinner all the time. Like you get it on Sundays all the time, kind of thing. Because we don't have all the ingredients handy to us here, you don't get it as much. You go to the grocery store and you buy a bucket of cured beef, like a literal plastic tub of it that's sitting in like salt water, and then you boil that up in like a big ass pot with a lot of salt water. You boil it up, boil it up, and salt beef is pretty much just corned beef.
Okay.
And then that you get it to the point where it falls off the bone. It's delicious, and you can you don't need a knife. You just use your fork and it shreds right off. You also get peas pudding with that. So that's just mushy peas, which is delicious.
Okay.
You get carrots, you get potatoes, you get all of this in one thing. And this is where you're encouraged to mix your foods together. And I, for one, I don't like mixing my foods. I'm not a big fan of it. I just think it's keep everything kind of separated. But the whole secret is you use some of the water. This sounds disgusting, the salt water from the beef, in the other things when you're cooking it. And it's so good. Now, if I lived in Newfoundland, this would be a total bullshit answer because did I just knock my water over? That's uncapped. No, I didn't. Because you get it all the time.
Remember when you spilt your beer?
That was awful. It was a terrible memory. I was trying to have a nice beer, But yeah, it's if you like salty foods, Jig's dinner is the way to go. Jiggs dinner for those who want to just Google it.
It's interesting because when you're describing it, I can hear the like Scottish influence as well as the living on the ocean influence.
Yeah, it's like
it's meshed together, like
yes.
And then a little bit of like a hint of English breakfast.
Yeah, like there's turnip, you get cabbage with it too. It's all so good, and it's like it's not just regular boiled cabbage. Like it's kind of saltier, but it's not overbearingly salty. It's like that meaty salty that just tastes. I get very excited because it's like more meat at the Christmas table, because you usually get a ham too, like ham, turkey, and salt beef is just next level.
So much meat,
so much sleep.
Okay, so then what do you know is on the menu for, first of all, then what's a bigger meal for you with your family? Is it Christmas Eve, Christmas morning, Christmas night? What's usually the bigger celebration for you?
Christmas night is like the one we all look forward to. Christmas Eve, there's no really big tradition other than like opening a gift each kind of thing. Like everyone kind of picks out a gift to give to someone. We don't really have a meal of choice. I usually work Christmas and Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. This is the first year since... There's only been 2 years since 2016 where I haven't worked Christmas Day. This is one of them. And yeah, I'm working tomorrow 2 to 10, but like I'm going to barely be around my computer. If any of my bosses are listening, you're getting like a solid 2 hours out of me of work time. Like,
I mean, the good thing is the NHL.
No NHL, no NBA, no NFL tomorrow, and one of the bowl games already got canceled. So what am I gonna do? Nothing. I'm gonna wrap more
sports news breaks, right?
Yeah, I just will sit here and do nothing. I'll just play video games.
You're on call.
But yeah, no, I like Boxing Day. We don't really do anything. Christmas Eve, nothing really. Christmas Day though is like, it's dinner. It's like we don't really fast. We'll have like a nice breakfast, and then it's just like, okay, wait for dinner.
And see, Christmas Eve for us is the big one. And the reason why I think that started was Christmas Day would be full of like different sorts of traveling, or we'd go to, it hasn't happened in a few years for obvious reasons, but we'd go to Asian Palooza. Which should be...
You'd go to what?
Asian Palooza is what I dubbed it.
I'm going to need more than that.
Where there'd be a bunch of like family friends would get together at someone's house.
Oh, a typical Filipino party is what you're talking about. Okay,
but it's all different backgrounds of Asian.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because you have different influences. So that's why I call it Asian Palooza.
That's hilarious.
And there'd be some white people mixed in as well, but it'd be all different. You have people from like Singapore, people from Malaysia, the Philippines. It's very cool.
That's hilarious.
To have that. Everybody get together, and so it's with some of the like, well, I say kids, but they're people that are my age that I grew up with. Like since I was like 12, that were basically like my sisters. Like the one time to see them and everything, but now they have their own families and everything too. So it's kind of neat to see that there's other kids that have been brought into the group. So that would be the thing. So that's why Christmas night was never a thing with my family, because we'd always have something else going on. So Christmas Eve was always the thing. We had a big dinner, a special dinner, and open up one gift.
Yeah, I feel like. Do you think the one gift thing is common, or do you think that's like a Filipino thing? I have no idea. That's why. Like I've never asked people.
That's actually a really good question, because I think other families do that, but I don't know if it's more common.
I have no idea.
Or not. I just did a quick Google search. Is opening a single gift on Christmas Eve a tradition in your family? It's on Reddit.
Oh, what a great news source!
I know, but well, it's groupthink, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks, but so it is. Let us know what's your tradition, folks, for Christmas Eve. Do you open one gift? Do you have to wait till Christmas morning, or what do you do? I know some people have done like their stockings, or sometimes too.
I love opening my stocking though.
Oh, I love stockings. I love stuffing Alex's stocking. That sounds so wrong.
You're getting married.
Yes, but I love putting the little presents, because she always goes to bed before me, and so I always sneak down, and typically it's a lot of mini bottle of alcohol.
Smart man.
And socks and stuff like that, and like beef jerky. It's all the little things that I know she likes and everything. So I put that in her stocking, which is always nice.
I feel like a stocking is the time to be like, here are the little details you've told me over the year, and this is me remembering the shit you like.
Yeah.
Whereas a Christmas present is like, here is a big gesture. Enjoy this. If you don't like it, there's probably a gift receipt. Whatever.
Right. And the stocking's like, I don't want to wrap this.
Yeah. Yes, it is. The stocking's like, this is awkward. Fuck that. This is awkward. Don't want that.
I am not wrapping mini bottles of champagne.
No. No.
Yeah, folks, tell us your traditions on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning. Like what? I know it changes too once you have children. Everything changes. So I'm sure, like, because both of us, we don't have children, and you being with your parents right now, and me newly engaged and everything, but also my family lives here, her sister lives here, but it's all different. Everybody's different. So I'm always curious to hear traditions because it's always fun to learn what people do, especially the unique things.
What traditions did you carry over from like when you were growing up with your parents to when you moved on your own?
I mean, the big thing for me was the one gift on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So even with like friends or stuff like that, we still want parents to do it when they're hosting. They're not hosting this year because they're having remodeling work done. They're like, no, our house is in no condition. So it's like, can you host? We'll cook. I'm like, okay.
Thank you. Easy.
Like, thank you. Yeah, easy. I'm cooking some, but obviously they're bringing a lot. But I mean, there weren't many traditions like that. I would say the thing that I loved is having the ham, pandesal, and cheese every Christmas morning would be the thing. But I mean, for real though, and just being chill on Christmas morning was always a big thing for me because it wasn't a big deal. I would just wake up and the rush. I mean, my parents or my dad before, when I was younger, would make videos.
Yeah.
Like Santa Claus to try to make me keep believing in the magic, and he was really damn good at doing time-lapse videos and stop-motion videos.
Yeah.
With his 8mm camera.
There was, I mean, Santa is real, and there was one time that my dad, I remember, the night before, he's like, let's go outside and throw carrots all over the snow. I was like, okay. And at the time we were living in Chicago, I remember this vividly. I don't remember a lot from my childhood, from like certain age groups, because my memory's shit. But I remember going outside with a bag of like baby carrots, and he's like, only throw a few. And I was like, okay. And I threw the whole bag all over the yard. And then the next morning I went out and I looked and I was like, there's no carrots anywhere. And I guess like I wasn't critical thinking and being like, but there's footsteps everywhere. And I was like, wow, my poor dad went and just picked up baby carrots in the middle of the night. Just haul them onto the snow.
Don't do all of them.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, they only need a few. I was like, they need all of them. They are very hungry reindeer. Thank you so much.
They fly around the world. Come on, Dad.
Yeah.
No, my dad, especially my uncle too, they would do so many different camera tricks to make things appear and disappear. So like my dad would do stop motion with all the different things on the fireplace and would make them move out of the way as if Santa was coming down the chimney. And then gifts would start appearing, and then all of a sudden start stacking up under the tree, and it was all stop motion.
That's pretty smart.
And there were a couple things where he tied strings to like a fire truck and everything, but it was the color of the string to match the carpet, so it made it really easy to hide, and would pull and have the fire truck just moving and everything too. Like, you got tricky.
Did you put out milk and cookies every year?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever do any like special cookies or different? That makes it sound like I'm talking about weed cookies, but I'm not. I mean, like, I remember
in Colorado, some kids are doing that.
I remember like one year my dad's like, I think Santa would want these this year. And I was like, okay. And we were at the grocery store and we bought like double stuffed Oreos. And I was like, Santa's getting double stuffed Oreos and milk. And
yeah, I don't really recall the type of cookies, but there was always cookies.
Yeah.
And sometimes carrots.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff like either for him to have a nice healthy snack or for the reindeer.
Yeah. Where all this went, who knows? For the most part, probably ate it all. I think I left Santa a beer once too. I think so.
Awesome.
I think so.
So on my menu for what my parents are, I'm very excited to eat tomorrow night. So we're gonna have lumpia Shanghai. My parents already made that. They wrapped it. My dad. So this is what's funny. Some people do not like innovation when it comes to like ethnic foods and everything. So like, no, you got to do this the old way. It's like, you really don't. He developed a piping bag to squeeze out the inside for lumpia Shanghai. So he's not having to like form it with the fingers, because that's what you have to do. Because there's lumpia Shanghai, for those that don't know the difference between lumpia and lumpia Shanghai. Lumpia Shanghai is just meat and like carrot filling.
Yeah, it's like I call it meat sticks because I'm uncultured.
They're thin and crispy, and you'd have to adjust it all with your fingers. Well, he just use a piping bag.
That's so smart.
And it's like, just get him to, it's like a process and everything.
I feel like
a white guy figured that out.
I feel like my parents and your parents need to meet, and then our food life would be so much better.
Oh, probably. And that's, let's see, a seafood soup that my dad's gonna make.
Yum.
My mom's making pancit.
Yum.
Then we're gonna have some Brussels sprouts, and I'm smoking some pork chops.
You love smoking foods now.
Oh yeah, smoke some pork chops, and then also smoking some cream cheese, which is gonna be fantastic. Dude?
Like, I like cream cheese deep fried and all that stuff, and like, I'm not giving you a dirty look like you're disgusting. I'm giving you a dirty
But
look
you're
like,
intrigued.
how does that work?
So you put in like your seasoning or your rub of choice on top of the cream cheese, and then you put it out in the smoker for like an hour, and so that cream cheese is gonna suck in all that smokiness, and then you use like a pretzel thin or a pita chip or something like that to dip in the cream cheese that is nice, warm and gooey, and then a warm cream cheese dip.
How does it not just turn into straight liquid though?
Because when you smoke, it's low temperature. It's like 225 degrees.
Oh, so it just turns slowly into mush kind of thing.
No,
like,
no, it's still a block.
Oh, really? Like, if I take a
You ever
block
seen my
of Philly,
tweets on it?
I have, but I just thought like that was maybe in progress kind of thing. So
No,
like, if I
finished
take
product.
a block of cream cheese and throw it on there, it'll remain in the block form.
Yeah, well, you got to put it on like aluminum foil.
Yeah. I'm not gonna put it on the grates and have it just go.
Blech.
Yeah. No. Or one of those mats.
Yes,
Yeah.
it'll maintain its shape.
Hmm.
For sure, and it's delicious.
I feel like when I move out and get my own place and all that, I'm just gonna buy too many cooking things like smokers and like the sous vide that you showed me.
Well, you're just gonna have to come visit, and we'll cook.
Deal. And I'll just take inventory. Be like,
Yeah.
I need this. I want this. I need this. I want this.
And then I found a recipe on TikTok for another appetizer I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make meat boats. What's your reaction? This is what he called it. It was a meat boat.
Uh-huh.
So
Does that go with your meat spin?
Yes. So it's also another thing I'm gonna smoke. If I'm gonna turn the smoker on, I need to use as much as I can, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you take sausage. I have bratwurst from Porter Road, nice and local. You slice that about half-inch thick into slices, and then what you do is you take a slab of bacon, you cut that in half, and then you wrap the strip of bacon around the sausage and pin it with a toothpick, where you have like a little bit of extra space between the top of the sausage and the edge of the bacon.
Right. So it's like a funnel, kind of.
Yeah, and so then what you do is you take a mixture of cream cheese, some shredded cheddar cheese, and green chilies, and you mix those together, and then you stuff that into there. You put it on the smoker
I'd eat that.
for about an hour, and then you have bite-sized little poppers.
I'd eat the hell out of that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make those as well.
Pictures, please. Thank you.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have leche flan
Yum.
and Christmas Jello, and then my mom said a surprise dessert.
What do you think it is?
I have no idea. Because I mean, it could be it could be buko salad, it could be thumbprint cookies, which I intend to make thumbprint cookies if I have time because it's one of the favorites.
What are those?
It's like shortbread, and then you put a little bit of jam in the middle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just melt in your mouth.
Yeah.
They're just so damn good.
I didn't know they were called that.
Oh, because you use your thumb to push the hole into the. Thumb it.
What do I do?
You thumb it. You just got to find it first, and then you thumb it.
Gotcha. Just making sure. Thank you.
So I did attempt shortbread the other night, and the recipe I got was shit because it doubled the dry ingredients without the wet ingredients. And I was like, why is this dough so dry? And I went and looked at another recipe. I'm like, oh, because it told me to put a whole other cup of flour in it that I was supposed to compared to the butter I put in. Like, this is shit. So I doubled the butter, and then everything just melted a little bit. So the flavor is still there, the shortbread, but it's definitely not a crunch like you would get. It's not like when you get the red tin, when you get Walkers.
Yeah.
Like those, shortbread.
That's what I like. Yes. And then you use
but
it as a
that's
sewing kit forever. Yes.
Exactly. So that, and then I made peppermint bark tonight for the first time, which is really super simple, but tastes so good and is so pretty because you just melt some chocolate, some white chocolate, and then you top it with peppermint, which is candy canes.
I saw your candy
as
canes. Yeah.
Yeah, and you put some peppermint extract into the chocolate to add to the flavor, but it just looks so pretty. So there's that. I love baking. I love it.
Dude, I promise you, when I move on my own, will not be baking. I have, like, baking to me, if I fuck up one thing, the whole thing's destroyed.
Because it's science.
Yeah, that's too much for me. Just let me, like, kind of burn something or kind of undercook it. Like, let me do that to you instead of just giving you a cake that is mush.
Oh my
Can't.
god. Well, folks, we appreciate you all so very much, and we appreciate you demanding content from us as well, because it makes us get together. Because we appreciate that you enjoy listening to us and our thoughts on things, and always love your interaction and we're so thankful for you and following us and continuing to interact with us. And that's what drives us, is your interactions, because we have made so many friends, that so many conversations because of you, because of all of you that are listening, that send us DMs or that tweet at us, that have been introduced to things, or you introduce us to things. We are just so super thankful for you, and wishing you all a just tremendous holiday season. And if we don't talk before the new year, a great and blessed new year, and hopeful great things for 2022. Please, dear God, let it be a good year for people. We need it. We need it so badly. And yeah, Matt, any parting words for you for the end of the 2021?
No, that was just super well spoken. It'll be like, I'm genuinely excited for the Stadium Series to meet a bunch of our listeners and our friends, like for the first time, because you've seen probably 99% of the people that we're going to end up hanging out with over those couple days, but I've never seen them outside of like a Zoom call, Twitter DMs, messaging, like things like that. So I'm really excited for that. I didn't think that when me and you started this podcast, well, not this one, but when we got asked to do the other one, that it would lead to this podcast, which I'm very thankful for over the holiday season. But yeah, no, I hope everyone has like a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful holiday season, a wonderful whatever you celebrate. Just enjoy it. Take a day and enjoy it. Spend time with loved ones. Give us a call if you want to hang out over Christmas too, or a message. Like, if I know that like the Christmas season can be tough for a lot of people, but just don't be afraid to reach out if you need like a hi or a how you doing kind of thing. We're always here to chat. And eat a lot of good food. Go do that and just have a good time.
Absolutely. Well, for Mr. Matt Best.
Good job.
This is Justin Bradford. Make sure you follow him at Best of Matt. I'm at Justin B. Bradford and Triple P Podcast _ all on Twitter. Interact with us. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about. And make sure to tell us your Christmas traditions, your Eve day, whatever, or your holiday traditions as well throughout the season. We did not get to celebrate Hanukkah with you, so if you celebrate Hanukkah, we'd love to know what your traditions are as well too, because we just love to read those and get to know you a little bit more. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.